everybody. Good evening. Good evening. You heard a whole heap of things about me. But if it is that you remember what my name is, can you just drop it in the chat? All right. We're going to start this quick. We're going to start this fast. And we're going to enjoy ourselves while doing it. All right. So if you remember what my name is, kindly drop it in the chat. Even if you can't spell it, make a wild guess. Let me see. Who was really focusing on the introduction? All right. I see. Okay. Yes. Yes. All right. Mm-hmm. I see two people coming out. Give thanks. Give thanks. Right. Listra, Mishka, Lucia, Bosi. All right. Three different spellings, but it is the very same
First.
person. Me same one. All right. So today we're going to talk about staying strong. We are going to talk about a topic that you are familiar with because you are the experience and the embodiment of it. All right. Now, the truth is, you have to work with me as I work with you. All right. So I'm gonna bring some slides. But I don't really feel you focus on the slides, right? I really want us to just kind of sit down and settle a little bit and just hear what I have to say and also contribute to the conversation. All right. I know it says keynote speaker, and I know that it says, that this illustrious kind of a vibe and such and such and such. But the truth is, it boils down to the fact that we're going to have a conversation this hour of the night. Quick and fast, so you have to stay tuned, but you also have to contribute, all right? Because at the center of this conversation is really you and your experience, your lived experience, and your state of empowerment and embodiment. Now, I know we hear empowerment all the time, and to be honest, it's not really my favorite thing because empowerment means that I am giving power to you. So I've changed it to empowerment, which really means that I'm just reminding you of the power that you already have within yourself. And if it maybe asleep, we get a little nudge and say, wake up, time to activate. So we're gonna have a conversation this evening, right? But before we get into that part of it, I'm going to do a little icebreaker, right? So, just as how you were able to put my name in the chat, my name begins with S. I'm going to be giving a couple of statements. Now, it's kind of like riddles, but it's not so deep, right? Every answer to what I'm about to say or state begins with the letter S. So, you have to fast on the trigger, right? Have to fast with the fingers to type the answer in the chat. Remember, the only clue that you're gonna get is that it have to start with the letter S, because a source of S objects or things or whatever, the answer begin with S, right? So yes, thank you for that, Mishka. So see, Mishka put the S in there. So if you come with anything, we start with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, you're out. Q, R, T, U, V, W, Y, and Z, you're out, all right? Because it has to begin with the letter S. I just want to make sure say you're ready for what I'm about to talk about. So first and foremost, let's see if your brain clicking now. The statement says, I come out when the sun shines and disappears at night. What am I? Who can figure it out? I come out when the sun shines and disappear at night. No, Cecile, come again. Come again. Answer that could have worked. That is correct, Jasmine. Cecile, take the same word in the clue and make it an answer. I like that. The answer is shadow. Very good, very good. Jasmine is on the ball. Next thing. I'm sweet, cold, and I make kids smile on a hot days. What am I? Remember, it starts with S. Remember, it starts with Denise. So sugar, sir. Denise. So sugar, sir. Palm man, something else. It have sugar in it, but not the source of sugar, so man. Come on, man. Think about it, right? I'm sweet and I am cold, and I make kids smile on a hot day.
Lemonade.
There you go. Sister Lynn, remember say it have start with S. Lemonade start with L. L.
Sorry,
But
sorry,
don't
sorry.
worry.
After some oh,
For this particular one. But don't you worry. Your team has the answer part. right? Mrs. Suck, culturally relevant and correct. And I also see snow cone. So snow cone or suck, you got it good. You got it correct. All right. Number 3, I fall from the sky and melt in your hand. Who got it? I fall from the sky and melt in your hand. All right. I see Ted. I see Yanni. All right. Yes, man. But my side, you're ready, man. At 8:08, you're really perked up. All right. Let's do 2 more. I help you see when you are in the dark. That one is kind of tricky. I help you see when you are in the dark or when it is too dark. It's kind of tricky. I don't really light, but it kind of tricky. Joan says side. No, I don't really side. My side. I don't really side. No, I love that side there. Mrs. Star or Mrs. Starlight. Lucia, it have to start with S. Right?
Yes.
That it have to start with S. All right. But I understand with star, but star not really so catchy it out. You understand that one you kind of tricky. We're gonna go back to light. Think about where you use for thingamajig the light. Come now, where you use for thingamajig the light. It work hand in hand with the light. Start with S. Yes, Yannick, brilliant. It is a switch. Very, very good. Last one now. I am what you hear when somebody tells you not to tell somebody this. What's that? I am what you hear when somebody said it. There you are, right? Cicely is back in the game. Very good, very good. Secret. I hope nobody in here is busting out nobody's secrets, All right. So that is the answer that is secret. So now that I have established that my side is live, my team is focused, we're going to get into our presentation. All right. So I'm going to put up my little slides, but remember the plan, even though you see the slide them dear, so I really want you to focus on what I'm going to say. All right. The slide is just to give a little guide. All right. So let me know if you're seeing the presentation and then we can go. All right. Are you seeing it? Are you seeing it? Are you seeing it?
Seeing it.
All right, good. Now, don't be afraid to unmute the mic. Remember, we're having a conversation. So don't be afraid to unmute the mic and let us converse. All right. So we're talking about start strong. Reset your mind, rebuild your routine, strengthen your resilience. And I know the theme sounds kind of long. I know the theme sounds like it needs a little bit of calculation because I look at memorization. But here is the thing. The theme is very simple to digest, and it is something that I am sure, positive, that you have already been doing. But it just is now communicating that at this point in time, you can redo, right? So you can reset and you can rebuild. Now, everybody knows that New Year's resolution is set in January. But on a personal note from me, I think January is the time when we're supposed to use for reflect. Because after the Christmas shopping and the flying and the coming in and the going out and the Christmas rush and putting up the tree, taking down the tree and all of that, nobody really is on the ball and mentally ready to pretty much jump into starting a routine January 1st. We still enjoy ourselves. We still come out of vacation mode. We just, just still at particular point where we are absorbing what happened in the months before. So I like to encourage individuals to take, even if you begin to start to jot down your little New Year's resolution and which direction you're going to end up in or which direction you're going to take, always like to say, let us use January as that reflection month, that little jot down month, that month where you don't get caught up in the hype of, oh, you have to make a resolution and you have to make this the thing. And then once you ride out that particular wave, you jot down what you need for jot down, then you can start fresh with a clear and settled mind when February steps in. So we're on the brink of February. So if you have not set a New Year's resolution yet, or you're still just a try to navigate life, you are not late, you're not behind, you are not behind somebody. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. Because after the hype and the smoke and everything, you are now in a clear environment and mindset to actually get what you need to get so that you can push forward, right? So we're talking about starting strong. Reset your mind, rebuild your routine, strengthen your resilience. Now, this theme already says that as individuals who are in the ring, as warriors who have been fighting through diagnosis, through treatment, you already have these three things. You already have resilience. Whether you think you do or not, you've got it. You already have a routine and you already have a mind. Now, this is the time, the period, the conversation that's going to say to you, since you already have your mind, your routine, and both of these work together to give you your resilience, it is now time for you to evaluate, to look at the resilience that you have. Look at the routine where you have. Take a little time to look at the mindset that you have and see what needs to be done to reset it, rebuild it. And therefore, in resetting your mind and rebuilding your routine, you're going to strengthen your resilience. So it's two things, two formulas that come together to give you a strengthened resilience. The resetting of your mind and the building of the routine. And how do we do this? We do it by starting strong. Now, whenever we hear start strong, we always think start is the beginning of everlasting to everlasting. But starting really looks at the beginning of something. Now, starting strong means you have to start intentionally. Starting strong doesn't mean you have all of the plans before you begin. Starting strong doesn't mean that you have all the answers before you begin. Starting strong just really means, say, you're going to take on something and you are intentional about starting it. That is what starting strong means. Starting strong is about starting intentionally. You don't have to have the full gamut of the plan. You don't have to have everything worked out. You don't even have to have the whole idea ironed out, because experience and treading a particular route is what is going to strengthen you on your journey. What starting strong means is that you have everything together. It means that you are starting intentionally. And starting intentionally, yes, can mean that you have a plan, you have an idea, you have a goal. But the strength of the starting is in the intention of it, how intention you are. When we say start, we are talking about a repetitive action. A lot of times when we hear people say start, it sounds like it's a clean book. You start at the beginning, you open the book, move the book cover, and the first page is where you're going, and that means you're starting. When you hear about start, it means like it has never been done before. This plan has never been a topic of discussion before. And so it is a clean slate, and we are now going to take the first step. But the truth of the matter is, starting is a repetitive action. Why? Goals change, lanes change, people change, person change, you change. So as you are going through a particular experience, your goal are going to change, which means that you have to start intentionally towards what the change goal is. Does it mean that at the first time you start? Mm-mm. It means that you are now starting again, and that is what makes starting repetitive. So if you buck your toe and you decide, say, oops, you're gonna go again, it's not a, oh my God, me have to start over. And it looks like the world and all those are tumble down on you because you have to go back to start like you're playing snakes and ladders. Not a go so. Starting is repetitive, which means that along the journey from the initial start to the end of the journey, you're going to have to start to have enough time. You are going to have to start again enough time. So starting is repetitive because goals change. As you are taking on the journey of life and you're moving forward, what you're going to find is the goal that you had, your holistic goal that you had for 2024 was not the same that you had for 2025, and it's not the same that you're going to have for 2026, because it is supposed to improve as you go along, because your goals are changing, you are changing, the person is changing, right? So when we look at lanes change, lane now looks at the vehicle, looks at the different experiences that will come up. So you started on a journey. You start a journey on in September. And you're going in September. By the time you reach December, you recognize, oh, I'm a different person. Something has shifted. Goals have changed. It now means that you have to change lanes and start in that particular lane. Are you starting completely over? No. But you are starting a new lane, and that is what makes starting a repetitive action. Why is it also a repetitive action? Because you change. You as an individual who is in the ringer, who is going through the different days, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You're going through the months. January, February, March, April, May, straight down to the December. You're going through the years 2021, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. You are also changing as a person. And every time you take on a new characteristic, and every time you get a little stronger in your journey, and every time it shifts, the goal shifts and the lanes shift for the better, and you're moving towards it, you also have, as the person, change as well. And in changing, you have to start. And so the start is a repetitive action. So when we say start strong, we are saying we're starting intentionally, but we are also saying that we're not start over like day one of the book. We are now going to evaluate what we are jumping into for 2026 and begin the 2026 journey, which makes starting a repetitive action. All right. So we're starting strong. Now, strong is relative. A lot of times when we hear the word strong, we just think about one particular thing. Strong looks this way and it feels this way. And we think that it is a cookie cutter. Strong over here, so means that it looks and feels the same way as strong over there. And over there looks like way over there. And so we kind of get ourselves boxed in, because the only time we can be described as strong is if we look and feel and move in this particular way. Well, I am here to tell you that strong is relative. You all are here, 38 other individuals are here, and strong is relative to each of you. It's relative to your body. It is relative to your personal capacity. It is relative to your season, and it is relative to today. Some of you on the call are in good health for today, like you're great. You're not in any pain at all. Today was a green day for you, like a great day for you. Some persons for you today is a yellow, meaning it's not a great day, but it's a grateful day. You are grateful that even able to jump on the call. So it might be a yellow day for you. For some persons, it might be a red, like it's really and truly rough. Oh God. So because of that, it is relative to you. Strong is relative to you, because all of you who are on the call today, irrespective if your day is red, yellow, or green, you are strong. So your strength is relative to your body, your capacity, your season. It's relative to today. So you can't look over somebody's fence and go, Well, she's strong because she's doing A, B, C, D, E, and because I can only do A and B, me weak, not a go so. If you can only do A and B and you are doing A and B, you strong. And your strong is unique to you. And therefore, people over her fence and pay attention to her strong. Yes? People over there acknowledge, say, yeah, man, you strong, but never diminish your strong because it doesn't look like you. So strong is relative because it is unique to you, it adjusts with you, and it sustains you. When we say that it is unique to you, your version of strong is shaped by your body, your energy level, your pain levels, your season of life. If you are just only able to drag yourself to get to a meeting that you know that you need to be at and you go there and sit, that is strong, that is unique to you. Your body, your energy, your pain levels, your seasons of life. So my thing to you, my encouragement to you, my empowerment to you is as we are going through strengthening your resilience, the first, second, third thing that I want you to understand, focus on yourself. Focus on you understanding that strong is unique to you, and so not borrow somebody else's definition of strong. And if you bungle no pulley, no borrow someone else's definition of strong because it will triple you. Focus on the fact that your strong is unique to you. And I want you to bear this in mind as we go down into strengthening resilience. So, how we get to strengthening the resilience? We not borrow nobody else's definition of strong. If you can do 0.5 today, you're strong. If you can do 0.2 today, you're strong. If you can do 15 today, you are strong. If you can do 90, you are strong. Not borrow nobody else's definition of strong because strong is unique to you. All right? Strong adjusts with you, which means that in this situation, in this circumstance, in this that is a part of your life, in this experience that you are going through, strong is something that is going to adjust with you. Remember, we said strong relative, so not only is it unique to you, it's also adjusting to you, with you. That is why strong is relative. So strong is going to adjust when your body change. It's going to adjust when your energy drop. It is going to adjust when a flare shows up, when life demands more rest. So if your definition of strong can't bend, it'll go break you. Let me say that again for the people in the back. If your definition of strong is one that can't bend to adjust with you, then it is going to break you. And we don't want it to break you. So, in your redefinition of staying strong, you are understanding that starting strong means that you're intentional. Starting strong means that you are understanding that strong is not just one marker on one line, on one paper, back a tree ruler, 2 centimeters to the left, back a God. We are understanding that strong is going to adjust with you. So the strong when your body goes left is going to be different when your body goes right. Strong when your energy drops to here is different than when your energy is up here. Strong is adjusting with you when you have a flare or when you don't have one. And the life is demanding more rest, and it's not going to ask you, what are you going to do to adjust this strong? If you're to say, Let me give the rest that my body needs. You are absolutely strong. And a lazy and a procrastination and a pop down and a weak and a burden and a broken. It is strong because you are strong enough to listen to what your body is saying to you and act accordingly. So if your definition of strong can't bend, it will break you, and we don't want it to break you. So make sure say your definition of strong can bend. Strong not only does it adjust with you, it sustains you. So strong is going to protect you when your energy is limited, when your body needs recovery, when a flare up requires say you slow down, set some boundaries, say no, say tomorrow, say next week, all of that. So it is going to say to you that you're sustain you because you are now focusing, walking in the experience and making the necessary adjustments. Now, me know all of us in here have a little stronger than the rest mentality. All of us in here love to push things to the limit because it means that we're productive and we're not lazy and it means that we're strong. All of us in here are ambitious, and so even in the midst of the experience, we are going to push it because we are saying that we are strong. Yes, we can. But in the midst of all of that, you see, a strong that drain you is not strength. Strong will drain you and a strength, it is depletion. And I want you to get that. So any strong way you are strong and think you are strong strongly. If you evaluate and see say that strong, that you are strongly strangling, if it is depleting you, it is not strength. It is not strong. It is taking away from you. So the truth is, the strong that you are working with is not going to drain you. It's not supposed to drain you because strong that drains you and a strength, it is depletion. All right. So let's do this. We understand, so we are start strong. We understand that starting strong means that we are starting at particular point. We may have started many times before. It don't mean say one source of time we are going to start in our life. We have to start and stop, start and stop, start and stop. But the key to it is that when a stop come, you still start. We already understand that starting strong is intentional. We understand that when we are starting strong, we have to focus on the fact that strong look different for everybody. Strong is unique to you. Strong is something that needs to be adjusting with you, and that strong is also something that's not supposed to deplete you, rather it is supposed to sustain you. Make sure say you focus because we are going in a part 2 now. All right. So before I reach a part 2, I said this 100 times. Now, let me ask again to see if you're really a focus. Starting strong means that you are starting what? It starts with I. Let me see if you are focused. If you're not focused, we're going to have to end the meeting and go home. Starting strong means that you are starting what? Who can give me the answer? ANSWER. It begins with I. Very nice. It means you are starting intentionally. Bossy. Starting strong means that you are starting intentionally. Now, I said that being strong or the term strong is relative. Come true, Ivan. It's strong is relative, right? Give me 3 reasons. You don't have to give all 3, but give me the 3 reasons why it is that strong is relative. Strong is relative because it is blank to you. It is blank with you. It is blank you. Anybody have it? Anybody have one out of it? Let me see if you're focusing. Let me see if you're paying attention. Come quick and fast. Nobody? No, man. Okay, okay. The internet was lagging. Really frightening me there, you know. All right. So I see sustain and I see you bossy, 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 bossy. Yes, my side. So you have it. Now we're going to jump into this. I want us to do some gentle breathing. It's not hard. Stay exactly where you are. And all you're going to do is just take 3 deep breaths in. So you take one in and you hold it for 4 seconds. You take your time and you let it out for 4 seconds. When I say take the deep breath, what I do mean, take it from your lungs, take it from your diaphragm, right? No matter, just take it from your nose. See if you can bring it in, because now we are going to make the plan. So you're going to do a little gentle breathing, right? So let's go. We're going to take it in from the diaphragm for 4, hold for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we exhale. 3, 4. Let's do it 2 more times. In from the diaphragm for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And let it out for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to do it one last time. Take it in from the diaphragm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then slowly let it out for 1, 2, 3, 4. Bossy. Now we're going to make the plan. Now the plan is simple. Remember, in order to execute by strengthening our resilience, we have to reset our mind and we have to rebuild our routine. Not hard, very simple. Let's get into it. So the first thing you're going to do before you can execute, you have to rebuild your routine. Before you rebuild your routine, you are going to have to reset your mind. Now, resetting your mind is important because the mind, you see, the mental part of your entire being, your mind is what drives every single decision where you make about your body, about your routine, and about your limit. So if your mind starts to fall off a shape or your mind starts to move wishy-washy, everything else is going to move wishy-washy. Because if your mind tells you say you can't, believe me, you won't. And if your mind tells you say you can, believe me, you will. So we have to make sure say the mind, we have to check the mind, as he said, the mind is as strong as it ought to be so that we can build the routine. Because if we not sort out the mind first, what is going to happen is that when you rebuild the routine, it is going to crumble because the mind is the vehicle that is going to help you to build and maintain and sustain the routine and execute the resilience, right? So we are going to reset the mind because the mind drives every decision that we make. Now, how are we going to reset the mind? It's not hard. Number 1, we're going to revisit some beliefs and some thought processes that what we did have. Whether it was given to us from what we have filled up our friends or we pick it up along the way. We're going to revisit some beliefs and some thoughts. And then now we are going to, having revisited it, them, we are going to decide either we're going to weed it out, we're going to water it, or we're going to plant it. Now, whatever the thoughts and the beliefs are, whether you get it from somewhere, you pick it up from somewhere, or you happen onto it because of your experience, it no matter. What I want you to do is in the chat, write a belief where you have when it comes on to your own experience throughout sickle cell, right? What is a belief or a thought process where you did have? Everybody drop one in there. And then now we're going to see whether this is a weed out kind of an environment or it's something that we are going to water. Like it makes sense, just need to develop a little bit more. We'll continue for water it, make it a little bit strong. Or it is something that we learned recently, but we're not to plant it in our mind yet. So make we start for plant it, right? So what are some of the beliefs and the thoughts that you would have had in 2025 that you need for weed out, that you need for water, that you need for plant, right? You can think about it, because if you're not doing little gardening from the mind, you're gonna buck your toe along the way. So what are some of the beliefs and what are some of the thoughts that you have, right? Just drop it there. Make we see. And is this a weed out thought, or is it something we can water, or something that is new we need to plant, right? So Mishka says, I believe my physical health affects my mental health, right? Is it something where we're going to weed out, kind of really make no sense, or is it something that we're going to water because we see where it makes sense? Or is it something that is new, Mishka, that you decide, say, this makes sense, I'm going to have to plant it? Always stay. Weed out, water, or plant. Unmute and tell me, Mishka.
Well, I think it's a fact that not just with sickle cell that your physical health can affect the mental health. So while I want to weed out, it is something that I can't really control. So I would say, I would say to weed and water, in the sense of what watering would mean, that I do things that would try to improve then the mental health, or to, just like what you did, the breathing exercise, and, focus on positive things, listen to nice music, and just, do self-care. Those things can help to, change the whole mental health issue. Yeah.
Yes, Mishka. So this is something now that you need to water. You are correct. Because once you keep believing that the physical health, and I think it really moved past believing now, because I'm sure you would have experienced that your physical health really does affect your mental health and vice versa. So you can water that, because in watering that belief now, you are saying to yourself, all right, I have to take care of my physical health because I know that it affects my mental health. And me have got to take care of my mental health because I know that it is directly related to my physical health. So we're going to water that. Now, everybody on the chat can decide that if that was a thought process that they had as well, they can also water it in their minds, or they can plant it if they've never thought about it before and Mishka bring it to the fore, you can plant it. Nicole says, if you live past 20 years, then your sickle cell is cured. Is that a weed out, water, or plant, Nicole? Always stay.
Weed out.
Is a weed out, because there
Yeah.
is no
Scientific evidence.
scientific evidence. But we can weed it out, but then we can also say we can replant something by saying that if you live past 20 years, then you are a strong warrior. You
You're doing
understand?
something right, right.
You're doing something right. So we can weed it out, pluck, and then plant back a new thought. You understand? So this is now resetting. That's how we reset the mind. Thank you for sharing,
Mm-hmm.
Nicole.
Yeah.
Bossy. Bossy. We have Ted. Ted says, have a prep kit ready to go for hospital visits. Nobody start up Sicily again. Ted H, are we going to okay, you have water there. Sislin, other one year sound. Where we are the water this, or we are weed it out. Have a prep kit ready to go for hospital visits. Always stay. Maybe prep kit we need a little bed too. A little follow-up bed. Always stay. Right? So Ted says water. All right. Then now we have the flower, right, Ted? Am I reading you correctly? I just want to assume, Am I reading you correctly? Um, Lucia says the flowers that blooms in adversity is the most rare and beautiful of them all. And she says that she saw this line on the internet and has been using it. She is rare and beautiful. She's a rare and beautiful flower blooming in adversity. Still staying strong. Not still staying strong, not because I'm sick. All right. Oh, see. So this is something that she has recently planted because she says that she saw this, right? So she recently planted and therefore she is going to continue to water it. So we plant it, we're going to continue to water it. All right, I see Nicole's hand. Go ahead, Nicole.
Ted's first statement about having a prep kit. At one point in time, my
Mm-hmm.
mother had instructed me to prepare one,
Mm-hmm.
and I was strongly against it because I saw it as a move to expect to get sick, to expect to get be ready. Like a pregnant woman is ready to go for delivery. So it's like
Yeah.
I saw it as a move to expect to be sick all the time, and I refused to prepare one, and she used to argue with me about it. So I see it as a weed. I can't see it as a water. I don't know why. I've never had one. I think I have one now, but it's not really for hospital. It's just like uh those kits where you have toothpaste, soap, and stuff in your bag if you're traveling. But I couldn't wrap my head around it. I saw the logic and it makes
Mm-hmm.
sense, but I just didn't do it. And because of that, if I need to go to the hospital, I leave a lot of stuff. But it's not a deal breaker, I can always get stuff after. So I saw it as something that broke me down mentally.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to eat it.
Is it out of so I'm trying to understand the hospital kit. It's like the little things them that you would have in case you are admitted
Right. Something that you need to grab quickly because
and go.
you have to get to the emergency room. So,
Mm-hmm.
right. Any little things, as you said, water, because a lot of times when you're waiting, you don't have any hydration.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm. If you have children, Nicole?
No, no.
Okay. No, no problem. Me either. But I'm just thinking, would you advise like a pregnant lady to not have it, like it's not really necessary to have a hospital kit?
No, I wouldn't. And that's why I made the comparison because a pregnant lady is expecting something and she has a reason to go to the hospital. But that's something positive. For
Mm,
us to have a kid, expect to get sick is like you're having 9 months or not even 9 months because of depends on how often you go to hospital. Why would you
mm-hmm.
expect to get sick? So I saw it that way, and I didn't want
Mm.
to
If
be
I
one.
might chime in, I think
So
she's seeing it, Sashina, she could be seeing it as self-fulfilling prophecy. So the fact that I am prepared for hospital, it means that I expect to get sick and I expect to be hospitalized.
mhm. And that's what I'm getting at. And it's all about perspective shift. And it's going to take time. Because the shift would now be that within that hospital bag, it may not necessarily be sickness that's in it, but you're walking with healing. You're walking with
Mhm.
something that is able to move you should you need it. You have it, you're prepared, and move you from a state of current ill health to a state of healing. So everything is about
Mhm.
perception, and I do understand that everybody is operating at their own levels of perception, but sometimes it's not about. However, in sometimes in getting there, in resetting the mind, it
Mhm.
would have to be at looking at just revisiting some of the things.
Mhm.
Because as Morit is saying, it's kind of like an anticipation, like a self-fulfilling prophecy. If me have prophecy, if me have it, it means that I'm gonna get it. But what if we just shift it a little bit to say, um, I'm walking through this experience and I wouldn't want to have the have access to the things that can make me better in this particular situation or get me to where I'm going a little bit quicker and then don't do it. You understand? It doesn't necessarily have to be for the hospital bag. So I do respect where you are. But sometimes sitting with thoughts, we can go down to the base of it and say, what is really the fear that is watering this particular belief system and how can I eradicate that fear and kind of switch it a little bit and turn it into something powering or empowering, right? So I just want you to sit with that a little
So,
bit, but I understand
so,
where you are.
so
Yes,
Sashina,
Mishka.
if I might,
Yeah,
okay, go ahead, Mishka, and then I'll chime in.
sure.
Okay, so I understand where Nicole is coming from, because for me, I grew up in a Christian home, and
Mm-hmm.
growing up in a Christian home and going to church, your family and the church family, they're gonna be like, you have to believe if you believe that this is gonna happen to you, then it will happen. And if you
Mm-hmm.
believe that it won't happen, it won't happen. So it's all about, as you said, the perception, thinking positive and all of that. But then when it comes to like chronic illness or any other terrible situation, I think it's about like you have acceptance and you have denial. So as I got older now, becoming more mature, going into adulthood, I realized that, hey, yes, I have faith in God. I believe in God. I love him with my whole heart. And I believe that I can be better. I believe if I'm in pain, I can pray and he can take the pain away. But sometimes it doesn't always work like that. I go down on my knees, my ball and my cry, say, Jesus, please take the pain from me. I can't bother. It don't gone. And another time I pray and it literally goes. But we
Mm-hmm.
have to remember that we have to accept that, yes, we have this sickness. So we can't be in denial, because denial can do stuff to you mentally too and drive you crazy. So, yes, you accept that I have sickle cell. So this can happen. So nothing is wrong with preparing. It doesn't mean that you don't have faith and you don't believe in God. It's just protecting yourself. But at the same time, you can have that strong faith. You can be positive, like, hey, I'm healed, or I know one day I can be cured from sickle cell. Nothing is wrong with that, having that thought process. But we still have to accept that, listen, this is an illness that we're going to live with for the rest of our life, outside of if you don't get a cure and all of that. But it
Mm-hmm.
just is what it is. So we have to be careful of, you know, differentiating acceptance and denial and
Mm-hmm.
faith here.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Beautifully said. Yes, Moret.
So just a quick one. And as I listen to you, I'm thinking about how can we shift our perspective. So in that instance, having the bag prepared, how could I redefine the purpose of having the
Mm-hmm.
bag prepared? So
Mm-hmm.
what that means is, in the event I am sick, then it reduces my preparation time to get to the
Mm-hmm.
hospital. So
Mm-hmm.
it is not that I'm preparing for illness, but I am preparing myself in the event that I need
Mm-hmm.
it. So the process,
Mm-hmm.
so when you're sick, you're not having to be focused on all the things that you will need to go to the hospital. So it's
Mm-hmm.
how, when we're faced with situation, is how we respond and the perspective we have of that situation. So what I'd suggest is, it's not a bad idea if we shift the perspective of
Mm-hmm.
having that bag prepared.
Mm-hmm. Right. So instead of looking at it as, oh my God, this is the illness personified and objectified and so on, you shift it. It's healing, it's preparation, it's acknowledgement that I may need it, and when I need it, I'm gonna work with it. And AT says, better to have something and not need it than to need it and not have it. All right. So I'm gonna have Ted go, and then somebody else's hand is raised. Can't really say who it is just now. Nicole, and then Nicole speaks again, and then we'll jump to the next point. All right. Go ahead, Ted. Ted, see that you're unmuted. You ready? Okay. All right. Not hearing Ted. The mic is unmuted, but we're not hearing Ted. Go ahead, Nicole.
Yes. Thank you for that viewpoint. I never thought of it that way. I think that's how my mom was looking at it when she insisted that I have the hospital bag ready. And yeah, I'm also a Christian, and it's a part of my faith, but it wasn't just my faith based decision why I decided not to have a preparation bag. It was a move to strengthen me mentally, because at one point I was getting sick very often, going into the hospital very often. And I had that bag that my mom said I should have. And I felt like I was preparing to go to the hospital, and I just stopped. I didn't have a bag anymore. I didn't see the grave importance. If I go to the hospital in the suit of clothes I have and that's it. To me, it's not a detriment if I don't have that bag. If I go there, they're gonna change me into a hospital gown. Right? If I go there, it's the easiest thing to buy toiletries and anything that I may need while I'm at the hospital. So I did not see the grave importance to place a bag that represented me preparing to get sick. So I chose the option to be unprepared with just the clothes on my back to go to the hospital
Mm.
and just work it from there. Because to me, if I go to the hospital without a bag, I don't see anything that happened different. I still can get toiletries. I still can get water to drink. I still can get clothes. The clothes I came in is the clothes I'm going to leave in. Half the time when I do get sick, the time when I decided not to have a bag, I wasn't admitted. I stayed in the emergency room and I was out either in a couple hours or the next morning. And I saw the shift in how I saw myself mentally. So
Mm.
it's a personal choice. For other people, it's different. I'm not knocking the
Mm-hmm.
reason for having a bag, but
Mm-hmm.
that's how I could cope. It was
Mm-hmm.
not, it's not about denial or anything like that, but just I didn't want to see myself as somebody who I'm Nicole and I have a hospital bag ready. No, I don't want it to define me. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Mm-hmm.
Yes. Fair enough. Fair enough. Ted, are you back? All right. Not hearing Ted. Mishka, is that a new hand?
Yes, but I think I heard Ted. Ted, you want to go before me? I think I heard him speaking.
And he
What
unmuted.
Ted, unmute.
Or he says seems to be having some technical
Or
issues
maybe
with the
he's having
mic.
technical. Okay, but
Yeah,
all
that's
right.
what he. All right.
What I was gonna say, well, Nicole, I do understand what Nicole is saying, and I always respect people's opinion, and that is
Yes.
where she is mentally, and it's actually a great
Mm-hmm.
thing, So I admire her for her strength and faith. But what I
Mm-hmm.
was gonna say was just using I guess an analogy. So like, all right, for instance, with the hurricane, right? I always use this. A hurricane is coming and we need to be prepared, right? And you have persons like, especially in Jamaica, the hurricane now come and when I think this the place turn black or not, and I look, and the government is
Yes.
like, come on, guys, prepare. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
why are these people behaving like this? I mean, it's not like you're going to lose. You buy up your food, you prepare your house. The food not gonna waste, it's thin stuff, non-perishable items. You're gonna have those things to feed your family. You can share it with others if you have too much. If the hurricane don't come, and if it come, you still have.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like it's going to waste. So it's always good to just be in preparation. So even with the kit now, yeah, you might not get sick, but for me, I always walk with like if I'm not going to the hospital to the emergency room, that's just me personally. I always take like a nightgown and a underwear, my little lotion and sanitary napkin stuff like that. Even if I'm just literally going to the doctor because sometimes things might change. I might be going for a checkup. I
Mm-hmm.
can take sick because sickle cell is unpredictable. And even if I go to the ER and I'm gonna be sent home, sometimes you're an angel for someone. Another person might need something, and you can give them something from your bag. Or you might just be traveling on the road and an accident happen and you have stuff in there that can help to put pressure on a wound or something. So that's how I look on it as well. But it's still good to, based on our relationship and work with Christ too, when we reach a certain level based on what we have been through mentally,
Mm-hmm.
we can reach that point where we have such a strong faith that we believe that we'll be okay.
Absolutely. And Ted's comment is it's definitely a perspective thing. So we all have our different perspectives, and that is why it is important to, reset the mind, to revisit some of the thoughts, because it's not really often that we would sit down with our belief system, our mind, and start to do an evaluation. Like, this makes sense, this still makes sense. What am I going to add to it, and so on. So we pretty much jump into things or continue in certain experiences without fortifying the mind, without doing an evaluation. I know it sounds odd, but it's necessary, right? To just revisit some of the things. What have we grown from? What can we just park as a full philosophy? What we need for weed out our mind? What do we need to water? What do we have that needs to be strengthened, as well as what are some new things that we're learning, even coming to these meetings on a monthly basis? What are we learning? It don't have to be a new concept. It can just be a shift, a perspective shift concept where you go, oh, said that actually makes sense. And now you start to embody it and put it in your mind, because you are resetting your mind. So just as how you evaluate and reevaluate a lot of things, your hospital bag, for example, your plan, your not plan, how it is that you're going to walk this experience, is the same thing in revisiting the beliefs and the thought process in your mind. So that's very important. And if we don't revisit it, we're going to be operating off of the same old thing, doing the same thing over and over again. And it's not going to move up and evolve into the part of the journey where we are and what mindset we need to get over this leg of the experience that we have. All right, because being a person with the sickle cell challenge in year one, and then now you move to, it's now year 5 since you find out and so on. It's a different you in year 5 than it was in year 1. You were in year 1. If it is now 10 years or 15 years, it's a different you. And so you have to be revisiting the beliefs and the thought process to manage and walk through the experience as a 10-year versus a 2-year or a 1-year, right? And it goes on. Now, the second plan is to rebuild your routine. So after you reset your mind, it's important for you to rebuild your routine. Rebuild don't mean say you don't have a routine. You have it because you have been doing this. This is not a plan, blueprint of a plan that we have. We are going to make in the future. You've been walking through this experience. You have been going through it. So it's now to rebuild it. And rebuild don't mean that we knock it down completely. We need to rebuild because routine built for who you were can quietly work against who you are now. So who you were in 2025, you need to reevaluate and recheck the routine for you in 2026. Yes? For you in 2027, because the you in 2023 or 2024 completely different from the you now. And it's not just you confined to your challenge. It is you on a holistic level, right? Who you are as a person, who you are as a professional, who you are as a mother or a child or a sister, or who you are completely, right? You have to ensure that the routines that you are looking at, or the routine that you're going to be working with in 2026 is not one that is going to work against who you are now, because you did build it for who you were last year or the year before, right? So how do we do this? We go engage in a little T-talk tool. Now I want you to do this when you get off the chat. Spend some time just budget a time where you're going to do this. Protect, release, and adjust. You are going to sit and you are going to pretty much write down what you have been doing so far, what part of the plan, what part of the routine is really supporting you. And you're going to carry that back over into 2026 because you're now protecting what supports you. You're going to sit down and ask yourself, based on the experience and all of the things that you go through and you log through from 2025 and 2024 and beyond, and just a go on. So what is it that is actually draining you? And you are going to release that, right? You're going to let it go. If it really a drain you, like it really not make no sense, it is just a bounce run kind of a vibe to get you through something, which it did. So you release it and you park it. And then the third thing, that's the theta tool. The third thing is to adjust what no longer fits. So anything at all that is no longer fitting, but it is still necessary, you're going to make the adjustment. And I'm going to encourage you to actually engage in the activity, because you can't have the same old plan from 2024, 23, 25, 21, 22, carrying into 2026. Different year, different vibes, different circumstances, different strength, different strategy, different energy, different progression. And so you have to rebuild your routine. And this is the only way for you to actually strengthen your resilience, right? The ability for bounce back, the ability for go on with yourself, the ability to continue to be strong in you and in this experience that you're having. You have to reset your mind and you have to rebuild your routine. Not two ways about it, right? But the big blanket on the cake is that it's not just about resetting your mind and rebuilding your routine. And this is the last thing me saying. See the slide finish? The last thing that I'm going to say to you, let me make sure I put it up back, is execute. No matter how you write it down on paper and you have all intent and purpose, so you're going to do what I tell you to do. And yes, man, it's all like a wonderful plan. If you don't execute, and plan C is to execute. Yes, if you don't execute, you are not going to be in the capacity to stay strong. Your resilience is not going to be strengthened because it operates off of one wing. So finally, not part the plan. Be like Nike and just do it. Celebrate when you do it, reset, keep going, keep it as a part of your plan. Because the truth is, in this experience, you can't go to war unprepared. You can't go to war and then in the middle I say, oh wait, um, hand me that. Where is the this? Where is the that? You have to make sure, say, your mindset is right. It is reset. It is re-evaluated. Where you need for planting, you're planting. Where you need for weed out, you weed out. Where dead, when makes sense. Where you need for water, if you get strong, you do the same. And then you sit and rebuild your routine. Take a picture of what you're going to do. Look, go through all of the habits that you have, all of the experiences that you have gone through before, all of the little things, medium things, and the big things that you have been doing before. You're going to protect what supports you. That means that you're going to keep that. You're going to release what drain you. That means that you're going to dash with that. And you're going to adjust what no longer fits. That means that you're going to modify that. Once you do this in building your routine, execute. With a foolproof plan like this is the only way where you're going to strengthen your resilience. It is beautiful what you all have been doing and been building and forming this community. You don't have to do it by yourself. And you don't necessarily have to just come and see and talk to the individuals on here whenever you're coming a mountain time. Sometimes a part of the planting and the watering from the mental standpoint, or even just hearing what other persons have to say. If we had more time, we would go throw some of the things them where you keep, see if somebody can keep it. And we do it like a little shuffling thing. But you can connect with persons outside of this and say, hey, let me sit with you and so on and hear some ideas and talk about it and say what we are protect, what we are release, and what it is that we are adjusting, leaning on your support system as well. But the bottom line about building your about strengthening your resilience and making sure that you start strong and you maintain that strength is the execution of it. But it has to start with your mind. Your mind is your most valuable asset because it is the seat of your existence and it is the hub of your creativity. If your mind not function, you will not function none at all. So you have to take care of your mind and your mind will eventually take care of you. So reset your mind and then rebuild your routine. When you do those two things, you execute. And in your execution, you will move through the experience like the warrior that you are. You have been doing great so far. You have been excelling so far. And that is why it's not a dashway kind of a vibe. It's just a reassurance and a reminder say, yeah, man, now we are going at the next gear because it is now 2025. And you are strong. You are warriors. You have the resilience to do all of this. All we're just saying is we are encouraging you and empowering you to power through as you continue to face sickle cell like the warriors that you are. Thank you so very much for listening. And I